Hello, everyone. My name is Ana Marta Ayala, and I'd like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. As a reminder, I do every video in English and Spanish, and the degree theory is based on modern Western astrology using the Placidus house system. In today's video, I wanted to talk to you about the ingress of Neptune in Aries, in the sign of Aries, that is going to happen on March 30th, this month of 2025. So I'm going to bring up the dates, and here you see the dates. Neptune is going to be in Aries from March 30th of 2025 to October 22nd of 2025, and then it goes retrograde back to Pisces. Then it comes back to Aries January 26th, 2026 through May 21st of 2038. And then it goes to Taurus, and then it retrogrades to Aries again for the last time in 165 years, which will be October 21st of 2038 to March 23rd of 2039. Now, Neptune's cycle is 165 years to go over the 12 zodiac signs. So it's one of those generational planets like Uranus, like Pluto, all right? Now, I put some dates on here so that you guys get a good idea. Neptune entered Virgo back on September 21st, 1928. It entered Libra on October 3rd, 1942. Neptune entered Scorpio on December 24th, 1955. It entered Sagittarius on November 6th, 1970. It entered Capricorn on January 18th, 1984. It entered Aquarius November 27th, 1998. Neptune entered Pisces on April 4th, 2011, and it's just leaving now, basically. And then Neptune is going to enter Aries on March 30th of 2025, and it will enter Taurus on May 21st, 2038. Now, this transit will be for the next 14 years, but we feel it the most when the planet enters the sign. So we're going to feel it this year, and we're also going to feel it in January of 2026 when it enters Aries to stay there for. So for those new to astrology, or for those that need a little reminder, let's go through what Neptune rules. It rules unconditional love, since it's the higher octave of Venus. Venus, you know, that rules love. So Neptune rules unconditional love. In a positive vibration, it's artistic, it's compassion, it's healing, the imagination, creativity. It rules healers in and of itself, doctors, therapists, painters, actors like Johnny Depp, who becomes the person in the movie, like, you know, in the Pirates of the Caribbean. In the not so positive vibration, Neptune rules to escape, to try to run away. It doesn't have any boundaries because it dissolves everything it touches. Neptune also rules not dealing with reality or things or people that we lose. It deals with mysteries, mystics, secrets, mental diseases, and institutions. It rules medicine, pharmacy, hospitals, isolated places like orphanages and monasteries. In a positive sense, it rules dancing, especially ballet. It rules dreams, spirituality, photography, film, illusion, the psychic realm, religion, intuition. It rules the night, the fog, things that are counterfeit or to be fake. It also rules drugs, poisons, addictions, the sea, the ocean, islands, things or people that we don't see clearly. It also rules deception, confusion, spies, criminals. Oil and gas are ruled by Neptune. Um, Lies, cheating, pandemics are also associated with Neptune. Um, but Neptune also rules an impossible dream, like one of those things that you really want out of life, and then you always had that lacking that you want because you want this one thing. Um, so you're gonna start dreaming, and hopefully when Neptune gets there later in the year, you're gonna have 2.5 years where Neptune is gonna say, let's make this work. Let's get to work, let's do this, and roll up your sleeves and let go. So think big, as they say, start dreaming, start really making a list of the things that you want to do, and you narrow it down to something that is like the ultimate for you. Now, what does Aries rule? Aries rules to be brave, to be active, hardworking, enthusiastic, to be the leader, to be first, a pioneer, to build. It also rules soldiers, war, weapons, engineers, something sharp like bullets or knives or scissors. It rules sports. Now, Aries is also very blunt, honest, sincere, assertive, aggressive too, like to be direct, to be independent, to take action, to be courageous. It rules fire, blood, to fight. Aries can also be impatient or, it's my way or the highway. They can be arrogant and argumentative because they can fight, Aries can put up a good fight. It's also a cardinal sign. So you know that cardinal signs start things. So with Neptune in Pisces, it's ending a cycle, and Neptune in Aries, it's starting a new cycle. And the 0 degree of any planet or any sign is the purest form of raw energy, like the true form. For example, 0 degrees, when the sun is at 0 degrees of Aries, it happens every year. It's the start of the new astrological year. Kind of like January 1st for the regular calendar, right? But for us in astrology, when Aries is at 0 degrees, it's the start of spring in the northern hemisphere, and it's the start of fall in the southern hemisphere. So this happens around March 20th, March 21st every year. It depends on the time and the date and stuff like that. So, that starts, it brings plants back to life. Um, and, for the northern part of the planet, and then for the southern part, they begin to prepare for the fall. So this Neptune in Aries will obviously affect the cardinal signs, right? Because it's going to be a conjunction with any planet that you have in Aries. It's going to be a square with any planet that you have in Cancer or Capricorn, and it's going to be an opposition for any planets that you have in Libra. So these are going to be the most affected signs, right? And of course, the range is from like 29 degrees of Pisces to like maybe 4 degrees of Aries, because Neptune is a very slow planet. Like I said, it takes 14 years, 14, 15 years to travel that one sign, that one area in your chart, that one house. So now let's put it together, right? So Neptune and Aries. What can it mean on a mundane level, right? Neptune and Aries, you can start a new spiritual practice, you can start yoga. A new religion can come out of this, but also cults can come out of this because it's Neptune, right? Neptune has two sides. It has a very spiritual, but then it has the not so great side. Now, people maybe looking for a new savior. But remember, it's Aries, and Aries is the I am. I am independent. So Aries saves himself. So you need to save yourself. Don't count on any government agency to save you. Look at what happened in North Carolina with the hurricane, with, the floods and stuff like that. Or look at California with the fires. People are helping other people, but it's not the government. I know we have a new administration and hopefully things get better, but Neptune and Aries says, save yourself. Do what you can to save you. Now, on a mundane level, Aries rules war and Neptune rules religion, so there could be a new holy war. I know that we already have one going on between Israel and the Gaza thing, but this one could be like a world war, and it's going to be a holy war. And remember that the transit is 14 years, so it's here for the long term. Now, hopefully new medications for mental illness can come up, like Alzheimer's, dementia, and depression, um, Parkinson's as well as a mental illness. To fight for the underprivileged, the people that need help will also come up. Now, Aries is an entrepreneur, right? So I believe there's a lot of people that are going to want to start their own business, especially if they're in a spiritual, creative, or artistic field, right? Because Neptune is all about creativity. Now, perhaps I'm hoping that there are efforts to clean up the oceans, right? A new start in the ocean. Speaking of which, when Neptune goes into Aries, the oceans, the temperature will rise. Aries is a fire sign, so it's going to heat up the ocean, and then there can be diseases because the animals will start dying off. When the temperature becomes too hot, the animals will start dying off, and then, things can get really ugly. Here in Florida, we already have a lot of manatees that are dying. So it's just a continuation of this. But anyway, um, so I'm hoping that there's a new initiative to clean the ocean. Excuse me. There can be a new pandemic, a real one, not the fake stuff that we had in 2020, because Neptune rules viruses, but Aries rules bacterial. So I'm not sure if we're going to have two pandemics or there's going to be one that starts off maybe because the water becomes poisonous, right? In the ocean. And then, people eat the fish and the shrimp and the lobster, and then it turns into a bacterial infection because Aries rules diseases that go in the blood, right? That travel through the blood. So it could be bacterial in nature as well. So if by any chance you go to the beach, you go to the ocean, and it doesn't smell, like an ocean should smell, then don't go in the water. I would suggest that you just pass off that because it won't be good. There could be movies that are made that are out of this world, that very new, imaginative, like imagination. The topics are going to be very creative, very artistic, um, because it's Aries. It has to be something new, something that has not been tried before, maybe with ETs or something like that. Um, so there could be definitely an innovation in the movie industry or in photography as well. Communication with the spirit world will be enhanced specifically for Aries Sun or Aries Rising. Also Taurus, because it's going to end up in Taurus's 12th house. So in general, though, people will have more dreams, like a goal, a wish that they want to fulfill, and that they're actually looking forward to, for it to come true. And Neptune rules miracles, so maybe we'll see some new miracles. God knows we need them. So I'm hoping that this will reestablish faith in humanity, right? That there is some higher power out there. Unfortunately, I expect that when Neptune goes into Aries, we will have higher inflation than what we have now. So my recommendation is for you to start growing your own food. Um, in other words, team up with your neighbors. Like some people can have fruit, other people can have vegetables. Somebody else can have spices. Some people can have chickens for eggs or goats for milk, and like you come together, right? Everybody does something, and then you get together and you grow your own stuff, right? You start implementing a plan. So what now for what I believe that will be very positive aspects for the first few years for those people that have like the 29th degree through the 4th degree, we're going to have Neptune and Aries. We're going to have a sextile from Neptune to Pluto in Aquarius. And then Uranus is going to enter Gemini in June of this year. So, like I said, for the early degrees, this should be a very nice opportunity. Now, remember the set styles bring small opportunities, but you need to act on them. It's not a trine. It's not going to fall in your lap. You do need to, if something comes up, you need to follow through. Now, a little bit of historical perspective. Last time when Neptune was in Aries, it was in 1861. So in the United States, we had the Civil War, along with Uranus and Gemini, which happens to be the Uranus return of the U.S. is happening this year as well. So there are a lot of aspects out there that indicate that the U.S. will be in a civil war. Um, this can also mean a new holy war for the world, which I hope to God it's not. It can turn into a World War III. But, let's just, Neptune is to pray. Neptune rules religion, so maybe we should all pray that things simmer down. So, yeah, you can do research as to what happened in your country back in 1861 or so during the last transit of Aries, Neptune and Aries, sorry. So next year in 2026 in February, we have the Neptune-Saturn conjunction in Aries. And that transit always has something to do with Russia and always has something to do with communism. But that's a subject for another video. But something always happens where communism sprawls up or communism comes down. So we'll see. I have to take a look at it and see where, you know, historically what has happened. So let's take a look at the 12 ascendants now. Wait, I lost Neptune somewhere. For Aries, Neptune is going to be in your first house. So your world is going to change big time. You are going to reinvent yourself. It's going to affect you because your person, your body, because it's in the first house. So your interest in mysticism, the mysteries of life, the unknown, spirituality will be something that you will want to pursue, right? You can start a new spiritual practice. It's time to be full of inspiration, full of dreams. Just make sure that they're a little bit realistic, a little bit, no, a lot realistic. But you can also, since it's your first house, there could be a lot of confusion as well. Um, Dreams. Pay attention to your dreams, especially if your natal moon will aspect Aries, which is if you have a natal moon in Leo or Sag. you're going to have a trine to this Neptune in Aries. If you have a moon in any air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, then you will have a sextile. So get a dream journal, right? Pay attention to whatever signs that you're given. And by this I mean, and this happened to me all on the same day, which I thought, wow, this has to be, something, because it had never happened to me before. I was thinking of two people that I haven't heard from. The first one was a few months, like 8 months, and the second one was a couple of years. And you know what? The first person called, and I was like, oh, wow, hey, nice to hear from you. We talked for a little bit, right? Then about a couple hours later, the second person calls. And I'm like, wow, okay, great. Hey, nice to hear from you, whatever. So in the afternoon, um, I had an appointment with a friend of mine that we've been friends since second grade from grammar school. So you can imagine how long that's been, right? And I, I wanted to cancel the appointment, but I was going to help her with something and, whatever. I was going to pull through. She called me that afternoon to cancel the appointment. All right. I was like, okay, fine. So instead of meeting with her, I went for a walk around the block, right? And then there's a part in one of the blocks that one of the neighbors has the bushes so far out that it interrupts the pathway on the sidewalk. And I said, wow, if somebody was in a wheelchair or, was disabled and needed some kind of help with a walking instrument, they couldn't get through. The next morning, the gardeners were there cutting the trees, which was exactly what I had thought about. I said, man, they should, call their gardeners and have them come and cut the bushes. So that was 4 for 4. That had never happened to me. And I'm an Aries rising at 9 degrees. So I'm thinking that when Neptune ingresses in Aries, this kind of thing, like the intuition, is going to skyrocket, specifically for Aries rising and Aries sun. Now, Aries, be careful with daydreaming, a little bit too much because this can happen as well, right? You can just, your thoughts can get carried away and you can become a little bit forgetful too. Um, if you are getting married while under this transit and it's going over your sun, and I say, like within plus or minus 3 degrees of your sun, you will not see your future husband for who he really is. And after this Neptune transit leaves, then you will get a rude awakening afterwards. So if you are planning your wedding, make sure that Neptune is not part of the plans. All right. And for the gentleman, this applies to your moon as well. If you have Neptune close to your moon, you're not going to see your future wife for who she really is. On a positive note, you might decide to take up photography classes, dance classes, have a marathon watching romantic movies. You might want to take art classes. Um, you're going to find that your physical energy, and this is something that for Aries is really difficult when they don't feel that energy, because Aries is always go, 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 right? But remember that Neptune dissolves everything it touches. So for about a 2.5 year period, when Neptune is close to your degrees, plus or minus 3 degrees, to your sun or to the degree of your rising sign, your energy might not be the best. And you will want to sleep more because Neptune rules, sleeping. It's the 12th house. Now, if something does come up with your health, then make sure that you get a second opinion, right? Because there could be a misdiagnosis, there could be a mistake in the test, they could get confused, or make sure that the medications that they're giving you, that your doctor prescribes, um, You're not allergic to them. Find out about the side effects. Your health needs watching. That's basically what I'm trying to say. And if the doctor can't find what's wrong with your, with whatever it is that you have, then it can be your immune system because Neptune rules the immune system. Hopefully, I'm not saying that anything bad is going to happen. I'm just saying that, you need to be a little bit more watchful when it comes to your health. And obviously, I am not a doctor. I am not a nurse. I am not a nurse practitioner or anything. So you follow the advice of your medical staff. All right. So for Taurus, Neptune, because the other Neptune that I had, I don't know where it is. I have a new puppy, so I hope that she didn't eat it. For Taurus, the Neptune falls in your 12th house. So your intuition and psychic abilities are going to go through the roof, just like what I said to Aries. Pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to your psychic or intuition, those abilities. Um, Start a dream journal. It's time for you to focus on the spiritual realm and not so much the material world, because for Taurus, money is super important, but it's not everything, right? Um, you will want to find out about deep subjects like where did we come from, where are we going. You may start a meditation practice, maybe go on a religious retreat or a yoga retreat, or maybe start up some charity work, right? It's also time to heal the past and let it go. You can do this with like a past life regression or investigating your karma, what you bring from other lives. And I am not the astrologer for that. For that, I would recommend that you use a Vedic astrologer. Um, or somebody that does the past life regression thing, but I'm not that person. You can try meditation and connecting to your spirit guides, to your guardian angel. Find a therapist, a psychologist to release the past traumas. The 12th house is a house also of hidden enemies, which is either people or addictions that you may have. So, um, from an astrological point of view, what you could do for a remedy is get an aquarium with a fish, with fishes, and put it in your bedroom because the bedroom rules the 12th house. Or the 12th house rules the bedroom, I'm sorry. Or if you don't want to deal with the hassle of cleaning up the aquarium, which that would be me, you can get a painting with a seaside, like an ocean painting with fishes in there, and make sure that it has a shark in it because shark represents Saturn, and Saturn's gonna join Neptune in a few months. So that way you kill two birds with one stone, right? You just get them both out of the way. Now, for Gemini, Neptune goes into your 11th house. So this is one of the better places to house Neptune. So you might be searching for like-minded friends that are spiritual, creative, artistic, or perhaps a group or an association that, deals with this type of activity, right? Like a humanitarian group as well. You could take painting classes, ballet classes, dance classes, and you can you can meet friends there. You can make friends. Now, if you do have new friends coming in, they can, like I said, be very spiritual, be very creative, etc. But they can also, remember, Neptune has two sides. So they can be addicts, they can be liars, they can use you on a financial basis, or they can have mental illnesses. So, make sure that you take note of who comes in to your space. On another note, you can dream about goals you want to accomplish. Just keep them realistic because when Saturn comes in to join the party, right? um, then Saturn can actually make those dreams realistic. So narrow them down because Gemini likes to do a million things at one time, right? A little bit of everything. But if you narrow it down to like maybe two or three dreams, or maybe if you just focus on one, then when Saturn comes in, it's going to ask you to work hard, to put in the hours, to put in the effort, and then Saturn will make it come true. So for Cancer, for Cancer, Neptune falls in your 10th house, and this is a square. So this is a challenge. So the 10th house deals with career, social status, how society views you, right? On a positive note, you might get a dream job, one that you can express your artistic abilities, creative ideas, design skills, musical talent, acting skills, photography, design skills, even fashion also. Or it could be in the oil or natural gas industry. Obviously, something having to do with water as well, or psychology. Psychology, Neptune rules the subconscious. Um, so maybe you finally get that dream job. If you don't, then you can have a little bit of confusion or uncertainty about where you want your career to go. Perhaps a career path that you want is maybe working for a company that has more compassion for, its workers, or allows you to be more creative, or is just spiritually aligned with what you want to do. Now, if you do change jobs, make sure that your new supervisor is not the nebulous type of person. When it comes to giving you instructions, make sure that the communication needs to be well documented to prevent confusion or mistakes. There can be a misunderstanding at the workplace or some kind of scandal. So careful with these managers that, they play games, right? Or they could be up to no good. Because if there is a mistake, a big one, obviously, you can be let go. You can lose your job. Neptune is to lose. Now, I'm not saying that everyone is going to lose their job, right? But because every chart is different, but you may find out that something shady is happening at work as well, right? This transit can also speak about a parent getting sick that requires a hospital stay or some kind of mental illness like Alzheimer's or depression, dementia. As a potential remedy, you can put an aquarium um, in your home, right? Or a painting of the seaside with fish, right? A painting of the ocean, and then make sure that it has a shark in there, because that way when Saturn joins the Neptune, you'll have the remedy already. So it will benefit both of these planets at the same time. Now for Leo, your Neptune enters your ninth house, right? And this is one of the better places to house Neptune, because the ninth house deals with higher education, your philosophy in life, long distance travel. So you may decide to study religion, to study spiritual subjects, the mystery of life. If you're young, or I should say, if you're at the university, you may change your major into something more Neptunian, like medicine, pharmacy, art, photography, theater, because you want to become an actor or an actress. So make sure that if you do decide to go into acting, that you become the person that you're going to play. I like to always use Johnny Depp in the Pirates of the Caribbean, because I mean the man just immerses himself and becomes a pirate, right? Now, with the ninth house, you can decide to go on a long distance trip, and it'll be to a beach. like a beach vacation or a cruise, or a trip to an island, because all those things are ruled by Neptune. Now for Virgo, Neptune enters your eighth house. So for Virgo, eighth house, the eighth house, you might develop an interest in the occult. Anything related to it, right? Astrology, metaphysics, metaphysical subjects, tarot, and numerology, increasing your psychic abilities, your intuition, trying to communicate with the other side, either spirit guides, guardian angels, etc. Um, you could also be curious about psychology and healing deep-seated fears, right? Like, or maybe you become interested in life after death subjects as well, or near-death experiences. Um, some secrets from the past may come up that you have been hiding. So be careful. Also, if you are in a partnership, if you're married or you're living with somebody, that your partner is not hiding assets from you, or is cheating on you, because eighth house is also sex, the house of sex. So they may be having an affair. Now, if you're single and are not in a partnership, then you might want to monitor your investments in the stock market or retirement accounts, because there can be losses. Neptune always produces losses. There's a chance that also that your partner can be hiding money from you, because eighth house is your partner's resources. So a remedy for this is to put a picture or a painting of fishes and include a shark in your bathroom, because eighth house rules bathrooms. So, and the shark Saturn rules a shark. So you might as well get, both of these done, right? Neptune and Saturn. Now for Libra, Neptune is going into your seventh house. So the seventh house, you need to be very careful who enters your space, because it's the house of marriage, long-term relationships in both love and business. So if you're married, you may find out that your spouse is keeping a secret from you, or can be cheating on you, or maybe there is an issue with their health because they're addicted to alcohol, to cigarettes, to drugs, or maybe they come down with some kind of mental illness like depression, right? Um, a partnership can be dissolved because of this Neptune placement here. So if your relationship is not going well, and hasn't been going well, then Neptune may dissolve the marriage, may dissolve the business partnership. If you're single and you meet someone, you may not see them for who they really are. So listen to your family, listen to your friends. Wait until Neptune is out of range degree-wise from your ascendant or your sun sign, before deciding to get married to this person. um, you're going to be very idealistic about this relationship. You're going to see them like a Disney fairy tale. Your Prince Charming or your Princess Charming, and this person can do no wrong and this and that, when the person is not like that and your friends and family are trying to tell you. So pay attention to them. Remember that Neptune is unconditional love, but Saturn is going to ask you to be realistic a few months afterwards. So you need to pay attention. On a more positive note, you may meet the person of your dreams, right? You may be just swept off your feet by somebody who is phenomenal. But again, be careful, don't dismiss any red flags at all. Don't make up excuses for the person, okay? So Scorpio. For Scorpio, Neptune enters your sixth house. Sixth house has to do with your health, your work, your daily routines. So health and work need your attention. If something, God forbid, comes up with your health, get a second opinion. Double check any medications that you're given for, any allergic reactions. Maybe you told them that you were allergic to penicillin and they give you a medication that has some sort of penicillin in there, or the dosage might be off. Some medicines are prescribed by weight. So just ask questions, right? Ask what the side effects are. So with Neptune in your sixth, the doctor or a pharmacist may make a mistake with medication, with a diagnosis, and also symptoms that you may be having may be hard to diagnose because Neptune clouds everything it touches. We don't see clearly. The doctor may say it's stress, it's all in your head. Maybe you're depressed and play down the situation. So if this is the case, then maybe you should check out your immune system because Neptune rules the immune system. Now, I am not a doctor or a nurse practitioner. I am just telling you from an astrological point of view that this may be what is happening. At work, because it's sixth house, be careful with coworkers, especially if you are deal in an industry that has, deals with money because somebody may be stealing. If there is gossip in the office, don't get involved. Don't comment, don't, stay as clear away as possible from those people. And also make sure that your communication with your coworkers is straightforward, it's direct, it's crystal. There could be, because you need to be careful. If you make a mistake, you can actually lose your job. Now, obviously, it has to be a big mistake, right? One of the remedies that you can use for this is to have a screensaver on your computer that has the ocean full of fishes and include a shark in there because Saturn, when it enters, Saturn rules sharks. So you have the remedy for both planets there. Okay, so now Sagittarius. For Sag, for Sag, Neptune is in your fifth house. So this rules romance. The fifth house is all about romance, your kids, your vacations, your hobbies, things that you do for fun. If you are single and you meet someone, you may meet the person of your dreams, right? It's heaven sent, the person that just walked in, right? But be careful because with Neptune, things may appear one way and they're really quite opposite. So listen to your friends, listen to your family, don't dismiss any red flags. Don't, the Disney fairy tale is just that. It's a Disney fairy tale. So be wide awake and try to see the person for who they really are. If you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend already, you may find out that they've been keeping a secret from you, or worse, that they have been cheating on you. Now, with the other fifth house perspectives, right, you will be very creative. You can develop artistic talents like painting, art, photography, dancing, or maybe you decide to go to your first theater play, right? Like some people have never been to the theater. Or you can go on vacation to an oceanside resort or take a cruise because it's Neptune. If you have children, especially your firstborn, you need to watch them carefully and you need to watch who they're hanging around with, friends, because the child can astray and do things that are not appropriate. Like, they can start smoking, drinking alcohol, taking drugs. So you need to watch them closely. For Capricorn, for Capricorn, your Neptune enters your fourth house. And again, this is a square, right? Because Capricorn is squares to the fourth. So this transit can be a difficult one because it's on an angle in your chart. This can speak of a parent being diagnosed with a mental illness, depression, Alzheimer's, a dementia, a Parkinson's, or just a parent getting sick. Like a cold that never goes away, or something, that they don't feel well. Now, if this is the case, make sure that the physical structure where they live, or if they're living with you, make sure that the physical structure is not causing the illness, because you may have mold in your home or your apartment and not know it. You may have a gas leak and not know it. So make sure that the structure is not causing the illness. Also, if your parent is already sick and fragile, they may pass with this transit. So, because fourth house is the house of endings. So make sure that you spend time with them, and you have no regrets, right? You give them everything you can while they're alive. After they die, they're not going to enjoy it. On a less serious note, but still dealing with the structure of the house, make sure that your pipes in the house are good, because they can burst and you can have a flood. There could be, or if you live close by the ocean or something like that, and a hurricane's coming, make sure that if they say evacuate, do it, because your house can get flooded. A potential remedy for this type of energy is to have an aquarium in your home, or something that requires a lot less maintenance. Just put a painting of the seaside or of the ocean with a lot of fishes, and include a shark, because Saturn rules sharks, and is going to be joining that fourth house very shortly. So the remedy covers both. On another note, there could be family secrets that get exposed, like finding out that your dad is not your biological father, or some other type of mystery from your ancestors, right? You can find out that you come from a long line of psychics or tarot readers or astrologers, because back then this was kind of taboo, right? Everybody knew, but nobody said anything, right? So you can find that out. Um, on a very positive note, you may buy a property that's close to the ocean, or a waterfront property, or a property that that makes your dreams come true, right? But the property might be very close to either creek or a river, something close to the water. Now, for Capricorn rising, I would suggest that you wait until Jupiter is exalted in Cancer to proceed, right? To proceed with the purchase, but that is up to you. If you find a good deal, then, go ahead and pull the trigger. So, Aquarius rising. For Aquarius, Neptune goes into your third house. Now, this house is one of the best houses, right? Um, This means that you can use your creative talents for maybe writing that mystery novel, right? Or romantic novel. You can be interested in writing music or creating something with your hands, because Gemini, the natural ruler of the third house, rules hands. So you might do a ceramic piece or build something with your hands that's artistic. There can also be a misunderstanding with your siblings, with your neighbors, extended family. So watch the communication. Remember, third house is communication, verbal, written, emails, so text messages. Um, you may find out that there's a secret from one of these people, like your brother or sister has been keeping something from you, or the extended family, the aunts, uncles, cousins. Um, Third house is also the house of the mind. So make sure that the daydreaming doesn't interfere with your job, right? Because the boss can cut you just, you're off somewhere and they're like, hey, did you finish the project, right? Also, you can plan a short trip to some mystical or maybe religious place as well. Um, a remedy for the third house is to put a picture of a fish in your car or a picture of a religious, like a saint or a cross if you're Christian or something like that, something religious in your car. That's a remedy for Neptune in the third, because you can get distracted while driving as well. And that's not a good thing. Now, finally, Pisces. For Pisces, Neptune goes into your second house. So on a very positive note, you can start making money using your spiritual talents, giving readings to people in things like tarot, numerology, astrology, psychic readings as well. I find Pisces tend to be very good dream interpreters. So maybe you start interpreting dreams for people. Now, careful with addictions to alcohol because second house is everything that we ingest, right? Everything that we eat. Cigarettes is also a Neptunian addiction. Um, Speaking of eating, you might be eating more seafood with this transit, right? Neptune in a second. I would not lend any money to anyone because Neptune will be opposing your eighth house, so you might not get it back. If you have to lend, then lend something that you're comfortable losing it. Like, $10, $20, whatever, whatever you want to help out your friend or whatever, but that you're not going to miss the money that you lend out. So hang on tight to your money. Don't spend it on dumb stuff that you always buy. Things that you buy them just because they're on sale. But do you really need them? Because with Neptune in the second house, money can just disappear. But it can also appear as a miracle as well. So a remedy for this is to put a picture of a fish in your blue wallet. And this will help with that energy. So with this, I am concluding the video. I hope that this has been useful for you, that hopefully you understand what Neptune is going to bring you in the next few years, because it's like I said, it's going to be a very long transit. And if you have found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and send it to somebody that may also benefit from the video. I have done a video with a friend of mine, another astrologer. We did, and I will put the link below, but it's in Spanish and it's only in Spanish. So I don't know if you could hit the translate and YouTube will translate the video like with captions or something like that. But she's a very fine Spanish astrologer, and we collaborated on a video on this subject, Neptune and Aries. But I just want to put it below so you guys can listen to that video as well if you're interested. As always, if you want a natal chart reading with me, please send me an email to amaastrology@aol.com, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.